Hello everybody and welcome to the 4-year review for my Max Brakes slotted cross-drilled rotors on my 2009 Volvo S60. I got the car up on jacks and jack stands right now, giving the suspension a look over and checking everything out, making sure everything's in good order. And while I was at it, I decided, we're at the 4-year mark for having these Max Brakes rotors and pads on. It's hard to believe it's been 4 years. I've put a lot of miles on this car and have not really had to think about my brakes because they've been there doing their job, and that's what they're supposed to do. You're not supposed to really have to think about them. So I guess they've succeeded in that part. It's already quite hot out, in case you haven't been able to tell. Got the sun starting to come into the garage where I've got the car here, and it's up near 90 and fairly humid, so I've worked up a little sweat doing this, but that's fine. Let's take a look at the car and see what the condition of these brakes are after 4 years of use. When I got them, I'll tell you what, I didn't expect it to be 4 years that I'd be reviewing the same set of pads. I always thought when I got slotted rotors or cross-drilled rotors, either one, much less slotted and cross-drilled rotors, that that detent or depression would cause a scraping action across the brake pads and wear them out really quick. I thought for sure when I got these things, 2 years and I'm going to need new pads. Here it is 4 years in, and I'm still on the same pads I started out with, and I'm putting somewhere between, we'll say average about 12,500 miles per year on this car in those last 4 years. Some years more, some last couple of years not as much because I have another car I drive as well. But let's take a look and see what the condition of these pads are and what the rotors look like after 4 years of use. Let's hop down in the car and get that wheel off. All right, this is the front passenger side. We're going to start with the front, and you're probably going to hear my compressor kick on. I am sorry about that. I have a very small compressor. There she is. Take a gander at that. Let me sit down here and get the flashlight out and see what we can see. These started out as nickel coated. They were plated, this section and this section all coated, and you can see some of that starting to wear off. But you normally have that big lip right there from the corrosion. Not so much on these. There's a little bit. Let's see if I can get a little angle shot on it. And it really doesn't show up that much, but there's not much. Rotor surface, when I feel it, is nice and smooth. There's no grooves or anything. When I feel the back, there's no grooving on the back. They're ever so slight if there is. Everything looks good. Pad wear, as you can see, the pads are getting down there. See if it'll focus. There we go. Now I'm going to see if I can find a picture of the original rotors when they were first unboxed to see if we can get a picture and a comparison there. But there's meat left on them there bones. And if I look over at the other one on the other side, it is the same way. So that's pretty impressive. That looks really good. Rotors look good. The chamfers on the holes look really good. The slots look good. I mean, all in all, these rotors look excellent, and the pads really look good too on the front here. I've got probably another year out of those pads before I'm going to need to replace them, so I could get 5 years out of the pads on these slotted cross-drilled rotors. I find that rather astonishing, to be honest. So Let's put the tire back on and head to the back side. Here we are on the rear tire. Let's get this off. Move it aside for a second. And slide up in here a bit and take a look. Again, rotor is in really good shape. You've got a little bit of rusting to start. The coating is starting to wear off, but these back rotors are even in better shape, as most of your stopping happens with the front. This only starts to kick in after a certain percentage of your pedal pressure has been reached. So these generally are going to be in better shape than the fronts, because light braking will wear the front out quicker. That's a really good looking rotor, isn't it? Here we go. Yeah, that is nice. That is a gorgeous rotor. Now, let's look at the pads. Yeah, focus on me down there. There we go. Can we get it? And I'll try to take a look at those two. Should be similar pads, but those are in pretty darn good shape, don't you think? I mean, at the rate these are going, I easily got another year out of those, maybe 2. So at 12,000 miles a year, that means I'm probably putting on a good 48 to 50,000 miles on these. And you got to realize that when you've got slotted cross-drilled rotors like this, that's a lot of miles. It seems like, at least to me, I don't know. This is my first experience with slotted or cross-drilled, or slotted and cross-drilled rotors, and I'm quite impressed at these Max Brakes rotors. Now, having said that, that I am impressed with it, what are my plans? What am I going to do? Would I buy them again? All that kind of stuff. And I think I might have even said this at the 3-year mark. I'm not sure. For your standard daily driver car, I don't really see a use for having slotted and cross-drilled rotors. I believe the reason that people get these is more for a track or heavy use. Like if you've got mountainous use and you're going to go down mountains a lot and you need to keep those brakes cool, then these will help with the cooling effect for dissipating that heat. For your standard, average daily commute type vehicle, I don't know that it's that useful. And actually, it makes the braking experience a little bit worse. When you remove the area where the slots and the cross drills are, you remove surface area from these rotors. That means when your pads bite down, they're going to be biting into less surface, which means you've got to push your brakes a little bit harder to compensate, compared to what you would on standard OEM style non-slotted, non-cross-drilled, your flat rotors that your typical car would have. So, would I buy these again if I was in mountainous terrain, or I was doing a lot of hauling heavy trailer or something where I needed that extra cooling? Yes, I would. For passenger car, no, I would not. I wouldn't spend the extra money. The coated, yes, I like the coating, and actually Max Brakes has a black coated rotor that I have on my 2015. Love those. They look beautiful on there, and they are buttery smooth stopping. If you haven't seen those videos, check them out. What are my plans for this? I could wait another year. I think somewhere toward the fall here, I might replace these. I really like that black coated standard OE style rotor, and even though these are in really good shape, I think I might just swap them out for that standard OE style rotor with a black coating on it. I really like those. I like the feel, the carbon ceramic brake pads that are on those, that came with those. I really like those. So I think I might just swap them out, even though these are still in great shape. And then maybe perhaps I'll see if I can find somebody in the area that needs brakes and rotors, or pads and rotors, and just, you know, give these away to somebody that's looking for a set. But that's it. That is the 4-year update on these Max Brakes rotors. They've been awesome rotors. Love them. Love them on my other car. For the price, I really don't think you can beat them. I am so thrilled and so happy with them. Not getting sponsored by them, so, you know, if all the accolades make you think I'm being sponsored, no. But hey, Max Brakes, if you're listening, I said I wanted to swap these out. You could hook somebody up here. I'm more than willing. Half price, you know. Give me a break on some sort. Uh, Anyways, all kidding aside, love the brakes. I'm really glad I got these. I'm glad I found them, and looking forward to 4 years on the other car over there and see how it goes for those. So I'll talk to you guys later.